Gorman out for a few weeks with a lower leg injury. Interesting to see what that's going to do for the Knights lineup and just what they're able to do with Bergen Riley. But you want to talk about stars, a lot of the stars in the state, college prospects, a lot of talent. It's going to be focused tonight, and that's why you have 1 versus 2 in AA.
Yeah, and speaking of talent, I know we put a little Easter egg earlier this week, but we will be sharing some of our postseason award finalists throughout the show, so make sure you're tuning in even during commercial and timeout breaks, because we will be sharing, like I said, those finalists that have earned their spots and caught our attention so far this season. Yeah,
and so with O'Gorman and Washington again, O'Gorman defending AA champs, the great run last year, of course, national All-American Nebraska verbal commit Bergen Riley, and is back, and she will be used early and often. You have a really tight group with Sioux Falls, Washington, and Coach Schroeder's talked about that, and their seniors all talked about that. Interesting to see Jackalinga, Wenentanda back in the lineup, how they work her in tonight. But these are the two teams that have held the #1 spot. O'Gorman, beginning of the year, coming off SummerSlam championship and off last year's performance. #1 unanimously at the beginning of the season in the first month. Slipped up a little bit at the Pentagon tournament. Washington took over and had an undefeated run before losing a great 3-set match in a tournament to Western Christian of Iowa last week. But a little bit of a surprise, their record with only 1 loss. I think if it had come into the year, people have been talking about O'Gorman being that team, but Washington has put together a tremendous season.
Yes, I think Washington's showing how important it is to be a well spread out team. And why don't we just jump in to our team spotlight in the Washington Warriors. So like you mentioned, season record 23-1, key wins. They were Fargo tournament champions. They beat Lincoln earlier in the year, and then Pierre, who's having a really great season as well. Although they're 23-1, their win streak is just 1 right now, because like you said, they lost to a very solid Western Christian team. I mean, a great competitive team year in and year out. Iowa school, and then their last 10 matches, 9-1. Our players to watch for this match are Shelby Kinzer, a senior middle blocker who's really done a great job leading that position this season. Macy Melchow, who we continue to talk about, just doing such a good job of being the quarterback of this crew in her very first year setting, really taking on that role with a lot of confidence. And then Carly Beckstrand, another sophomore middle blocker.
Right, and what's important, the keys we finish up for Sioux Falls, Washington, their composure all year. The serve receive, O'Gorman will send a very aggressive service game. First contact with that serve receive, and just see how this group, if they can stay composed like they have all season long in what's going to be a great environment, but a big environment tonight for the Warriors. So that's a sneak peek at them. Now let's take a look at the defending AA champs, ranked number 2 in the state, the O'Gorman Knights.
O'Gorman Knights stand at 16-3 this season. Key wins against Pierre and Lincoln. So both these teams, by the transitive property, like we try to talk about so often, it should be very well matched, winning both those solid teams. Win streak of 3, and their last 10 matches are 7-3. Gabby Jones is going to be huge for the Knights in this match in that libero jersey. And then Bella Steffel, I think you'll hear Coach Heck talk about just how big she's been for this team leadership-wise the entire season, especially when Bergen was gone for those 2 weeks.
Right, and for the Knights, how are they going to move around? How are they going to adjust to, again, having Harbison out at that center position? What are they going to do with Bergen Riley? Because a lot of people know her as one of the nation's top setting recruits, but she has been dominant as that right side attacker, the best attacker for O'Gorman last year during the state championship run, and such a luxury, and they're probably a better team when she can play in that attacker spot. So how are they going to use Riley? Where are they going to use her? And how are they going to get her in the attacking game with her having to play predominantly all Saturday night in a 5-1, we're guessing?
Yes, I think and what Bergen does so well and what she's had to do really during practice and even during the beginning of the season when they were still running different offenses. And I think, like I said, you'll hear Coach talk about it a little bit later, but how can they get her involved at the setting position? He said that she actually split the team and led in kills the other night as a setter. So I think Washington will have to be on their feet and watch that second contact.
Absolutely. And with that, let's take a look at our first of our finalists for our postseason awards, and we'll come back and talk briefly about the coaches, hear the news for the team. But again, we'll have our second annual Adrenaline Volleyball postseason award show after the state tournament. But during all of the breaks tonight, we will show the finalists for our over 20 awards, and the first one, AA Player of the Year finalists. And welcome back to our pregame show for number 1 versus number 2, Washington at O'Gorman. Let's talk about tonight's coaching matchup. Kelly Schroeder, in his 5th year, has done amazing things at Washington. They've been one of the top 3 teams in the state every single year since he took over, looking for that first state title. And then Cale Heck at O'Gorman, first year, but done an amazing job. Just impressive talking to these coaches. But those are the 2 head coaches for tonight's matchup.
Yeah, and even just talking to these 2 briefly, and I know we talk to them a lot kind of throughout the year. We have a good relationship with them. I just love the way that they talk about their athletes and how they want to grow their programs year in and year out, and just kind of the new style of volleyball that they're bringing to the court in these Sioux Falls schools. I think they really preach playing all year round and kind kind of doing things the right way, fixing the fundamentals first, and just love to see what they're doing with these two programs. Coach Heck just in his very first season, and then like you said, Schroeder 5 years in.
Well, and both of them, I think, players, coaches, but they also definitely have the players' respect when you go to a practice. Their game plans are solid. We got to see that a little bit on Wednesday as they were installing that. But both of them run a solid program. And Coach Heck, as we're going to hear in just a minute, he's been through the ringer, if you will, hit his first year, experienced a lot of different things, lineup changes, injuries, illness, whatever, but it's play hard from him, and I think he's got a bright future as a head coach and with this O'Gorman program. And with that, we had time on Wednesday to go and talk with some of the athletes and the coaches at their practices and do a couple interviews. So here's a 7 or 8 minute clip of those interviews from Wednesday's practice with O'Gorman and Sioux Falls, Washington.
What's the season's been like?
Yeah, I mean, you get everybody's best. They all want to come out and beat us, and I feel like that's rightly so. But it's been an adventure. It's been hard. Like we haven't really got to have a chance to have a set lineup for the entire year, and I think that's something that like usually most teams have what they're going to do by now and are in a flow and they kind of have that connection, and we don't, and, which is good and bad because a lot of different players get the opportunity to like step up and do that sort of thing. But like if we don't kind of figure it out by state time, and we don't have as much time now, it can cause some issues. But
yeah, I think everybody kind of knows like this is the game of the season. And, it's a big one for sure. I think it's going to be loud. It's going to be crazy. And, it's going to be tough to play in, but I think we kind of have to use that to our advantage and just like use the momentum.
I think it's definitely going to bring all the attention to us.
Yep.
I think it's going to be a good game. Like he said, a lot of people are expecting it. You know what I mean? A bunch of people are coming in, so I think it's going to be even bigger and better than most games.
they've got options all over the place, like offensively especially, which is big. But I think even the more impressive part is their defense they're scrappy, they're all over the place. They pick up a lot of balls, and it's tough to find those holes, to put a ball down, and that starts to annoy you as you're on the other side of the net, and it's just one of those kind of frustrating teams that gets at you.
We just have to play how we know we can. Like, I think with a big atmosphere, lots of people, like big rivalry game, people can try to do too much. Like, I think if we play clean volleyball, like, I think we'll be okay, and I think we can get this way.
I do think we have seen more consistency in regards to our players, and I think it's not even a junior, but I think Emily Dowling, we've put on the right side, we put in the middle, we've done a little bit of everything with her. Like, she's someone who, for being close to the right side, has really stepped up. And I think Brooke Harvison, even though she's hurt now, she's someone who I think has seen a lot of growth in regards to that. We can trust her running at 5-1 and still feel really pretty good about where she's at. And I think those two have been really the two big growth things. The interviews I'm still getting used to. But it has. I've learned a lot. It's been great to have Kylie, who's ran a show and done all that stuff, and she's like, well, this is what I would do. And it's never like, you should do this, but it's like, I always have her to go back to and fall back and I'll be like, okay, I need your thoughts. But it's been eventful with people hurt, with hurting Dawn, with all different sorts of things, and it's been a challenge. And I think getting to know the girls has been probably the biggest thing, and seeing how they all like function with each other and how I give each one separately feedback. And I think that's probably where I've seen the most like growth in regards to the relationally with figuring out the girl.
Yeah, it's just this. I know I've hit on it a few times with different people, but yeah, this group just gets along. They're weird, they're goofy together. They haven't really had any tension within the team. And Fargo was really good. They had a lot of girls, especially younger girls, that kind of broke out of their shell. and really connected and bonded with our older girls. So that's what you want to see with the program. This is obviously the most scrappiest team that I've had since I've been here at Washington for the 6 years. They don't give up on plays. We've had a lot of great hustle plays. We've had one at Western. Playing Western Christian at the Healing Tournament, and they just don't give up and they fight, and it doesn't matter how far down they are with points, they just battle back with tough defense, and it's awesome.
I think it's our chemistry on the team. Everyone on the team is best friends. What you're thinking, it's more. We went to that Fargo tournament and every room was cracked open and you went into any room, talked to any person, and it was. So when we go to those 5-set matches, everyone trusts each other, and we were like, yeah, we got this.
Yeah, I was going to say exactly what she said, but it also just comes down, our team this year is a lot scrappier than we have been past years, so it usually just takes one big play, whether it's someone having a good save or a killer ace right to start us off or a killer hit. We just need one thing and we just keep the momentum.
Yeah, they've really all done a great job. They've filled in a lot of gaps that we've had. We have some 2- 3-year starters playing for us, so we have a lot of that experience, which is really good. We got third last year, the year before, we got fourth, and just that experience of being at the state tournament for us. I think it's going to be big. I would assume that O'Gorman's going to bring a big crowd. I know that we are. Our girls, talking with the guys and the senior guys in the senior group that we have, they came down to Sioux City and they watched us there, and they've already been talking about it for weeks. And so I think there's going to be a big crowd. There's a football game on Thursday night, so we don't have that. So I think there's going to be a big student section. Last night for our senior night, it was probably one of the first times outside of our Future Warrior Night where middle school kids come, but we had high school kids stacked from the bottom all the way up to the top in that one section. So I think it's going to be big. Obviously it's a big rivalry. We've battled the last 3 or 4 years, and we've been in those semifinals or those championship matches, both of us. So we have that experience, and this is going to be the first time we played this year. Usually we play them twice if you see them early on. So it's going to be a big battle.
We're very excited.
I think we've been looking forward to playing them. I'm sad that we only played once, but I think everyone knows, our whole school knows, probably all over Gorman knows, so it's just been super exciting, and we've been preparing for them for a while, and
I'm just excited. I can already feel the stomach starting to go crazy. It's always just been the game how it is every single year that everyone's been talking about.
They got size, definitely. And you can't talk about OG and not talk about Bergen Riley. She's a stud. In practice today, we're working on trying to mimic what she does, and it's tough to do. So we're really going to key in on her. 3 things I told the girls last night in set 5. I think if we can control our emotion and know that 1 point is 1 point. That's one thing we've done the last couple of weeks. It doesn't. We got to make sure that one mistake doesn't turn into 2. And regardless of what the outcome is, it's only worth 1. It's not worth 2, 3, or 4. So that's going to be key there. Second thing is we got to go back and we have to adjust on the serve line and go on run.
So there you got a chance to hear a common theme. This is going to be a big match. The coaches are ready. The athletes are definitely ready. This place is starting to fill in. Great talking and watching practice a little bit on Wednesday with both of these teams. So with that, let's take another quick break before we come back and look at the lineups. Let's take a look at our next set of finalists for our postseason award show. All right, and we're back again. About a minute, about 35 seconds left of warm-ups here before the national anthem. Hey, what's a couple key points of the match, things we're looking at for both teams tonight?
Yeah, I think you heard some of the players talk about just how big that first contact is going to be. Both these teams can be scary offensively, whether that mean Bergen Riley taking that second ball over on that after a good first contact, or Macy Melchow distributing her many weapons that she has on the front line. So I'm going to be looking at that very first contact.
Yeah, and I think another thing, with new players, sophomores, new players on O'Gorman's side, that junior class, they haven't been in a ton of big games. This is going to be a big state tournament-like atmosphere. How do they respond if they struggle a little bit? And again, I think a key point we both thought is, how will O'Gorman get Riley involved in the attacking game and not the setting game?
So with that, why don't we take a quick break and for the national anthem.
We're back. They're going to do some awards. I believe Bergen Riley getting her Gatorade, recognized for a Gatorade Player of the Year award right now but she does that at midcourt and capping off just a great junior season. A lot more awards for her to come. And you see the crowd on both sides show respect to Bergen. What she's meant to volleyball and just the popularity in the state and the attention. Pretty cool, pretty special player.
Yeah, very well-known name around these parts in South Dakota volleyball.
One thing, and what do they do? What's it like? As Coach Hecht had talked about. Shuffling lineups. They had one match. What did they learn after the Lincoln match the first time without Harbison, and now a couple days to prepare? What did they learn in those couple days? What did they try adjusting, figuring out?
Well, a couple things. I think you got to learn how you want to pass to a setter, how much you want her to take a first ball. I know we had kind of talked off camera a little bit to Coach Schroeder just about how Bergen Riley will take that first ball even if she is the setter and then back off to attack. I think they're going to let her have a lot more freedom in the defense as a setter. Usually, the other defensive players would want to take over those balls.
And absolutely, and one thing that is going to be so key for Washington, I'm sure, is everybody that plays O'Gorman is knowing exactly where Bergen is at all times. And that's something that Washington was trying to hammer home over and over and over again in the short amount of time we watched practice on Wednesday there. So now I think both teams are out, and I think we're ready for the playing of our national anthem. lineups for both teams tonight. First of all, if we can take a look at Sioux Falls, Washington. We'll start the sophomore, Macy Melchow. Wenentana in the starting lineup. That's a question we might have had. Taryn Heibold has done a great job at DS for them this year. Jocelyn Richardson, Player of the Year candidate, kind of do everything. Ellie Walker, coming off a career at the Augustana commit, and then Lexi Kinzer, that's done just a great job holding down that middle for the Warriors this year. That's the starting lineups for Sioux Falls, Washington. Again, coached by Kelly Schroeder. And now, let's take a look at the lineup for Sioux Falls O'Gorman. As we look down there, we weren't quite sure exactly what they would do with that, but it looks like the starting lineup will go with Bergen Riley at setter.
Emily Dowling taking place in the right side for Riley. Again, Coach Hecht spoke highly of her during that practice interview.
Yeah,
and we did adjust our headphone volume, so let us know if you can hear us just a little bit better at this point.
The Kayla T-Hart, the 5'5" junior DS will play a lot of back row, being important that serve receive, and her twin sister, Megan T-Hart, wore the outside all the way around. Very important in the defensive game for the Knights. And then in the middle, both Brogan Beck and Isabella Steffel, probably the best 1-2 combination up middle. So that's the lineup. Starting lineup here for the O'Gorman Knights. Haley, last thoughts. What will be important here in set number one for both teams as we get ready to get rolling?
I think both coaches and any coach will tell you one of the most important things to get a hot start is serve and pass. You got to put in an aggressive serve, and you got to nail that first pass. Give yourself options to get your offense moving.
One thing we look at in that serve game for O'Gorman, it's going to be aggressive and efficient, serving with 91% efficiency as a team. Every player at Washington and the coaches all talked about that first contact on that serve game will be important. O'Gorman could get some momentum, maybe shake the defense of Washington. Could be a big factor and a big story in tonight's contest. So, without that, looks like Bergen Riley will be first to serve for O'Gorman. It's number one Washington taking on a city rival, defending state champ Sioux Falls O'Gorman. And we're just about to get underway.
As you can see, that scoreboard is in the middle, top middle of our screen, so refer to that for the score.
That's how dug up by Jones early on the attack by Kinzer.
You already see Riley taking over that quick second contact, isn't able to get it down.
Great coverage there by Jones. Back just a little bit loud, first point for Washington. You hear the student section. Great job, and we saw that on the slide. Kinzer going cross-court a lot in practice, and they go cross-court twice, but Jones there for two big digs for the Knights. Walker back to serve for Washington. The overpass put back. I don't know if it was Kinzer or it was Melchow, but point Washington. Early lead for the Warriors, 2-0.
Just to know on Kinzer going cross, the better matchup will be on her line, hitting the slide, just because on the outside, O'Gorman does have a little less height with Beck, of course, and Steffel, but it almost looks like Broken Beck on the right side,
right,
with Steffel in the middle.
There's a swing by T-Hard, block, but it's a touch out of bounds. First point. Aggressive. We talked about Megan T-Hart, just undersizes and outside, so she's going to use a lot of different shots, try and stay away from that block.
I think she really utilizes Melchow on the right side, who's typically in the middle. Like we said, we've talked so much about her good adjustment this year to what her team needed her to do at the setting position, as Richardson will be a huge factor in this match, records her very first kill of the night.
Yeah, and Richardson's going to do just a little bit of everything. She's going to pass the ball, obviously who they went to down the stretch against Brandon Valley the other night. And here's Wenentunda in for the first time for Washington. See how they use her in this match early.
Wenentunda has been one of those storylines for Washington this year. Talked to Coach early on in the season, And she just wasn't quite ready, had a lot of those nagging injuries from the summer, but good to see her back in action.
There you go. Macy Matheson in for the first time down the line in the kill for the Knights, 3-2. Sophomore Sabrina Tryon, who's come on the last 6 to 8 matches, a little bit more, serving and playing some back row for the Knights in. Over to Richardson. Riley back to back on that right side and down the line, a kill for Broganback. Playing that more on the right side than we've seen. One of the adjustments by Coach Hecht early.
Yeah, and then they switched that Emily Dowling to the middle instead of to the right side like they had been earlier on in the season. I really like Broganback on the right side. See how often they can get her that ball.
Trying in there. Tight to the net, falls over for an ace, 4-3 O'Gorman. Again, the only sophomore in the lineup for the Knights, trying it with the serve. Dug up by Heibold. Cross court by Matheson, dug up by Walker.
A lot of talk on the O'Gorman side early on. That was one of their keys at the beginning of the year. They just have some of those quiet leaders, I would say, naturally quiet leaders. So good to see them talking early on. I think you see that in the 5-3 lead.
Absolutely. There's Malchow to Richardson cross court. Trying in there for the dig.
Great defense. We talked so much about their defense early on in that interview with Jaden Shetman, so getting going early on in the match.
There you go. That time back row attack in the net by Megan Tiard. And something we saw even this summer. Beck had a big summer. Great to see her getting more swings early and utilizing her power and her height on that right side. Tiard digs it up over to Riley. Back set to Beck.
Love that swing by Beck. That'll score 9 times out of 10, and she misses just by inches back in that deep right-hand corner.
Here's the sophomore Malchow, done a great job, as you said, stepping into the setter position for Washington. Communication error there by the Knights. That's an ace for Macy Malchow. 85% service percentage, 39 aces now for Malchow, the sophomore.
She goes short, tries to get them on that communication again.
Good job dug up by Riley, kept alive. Shetman over to Richardson. Dowling with a swing, a little bit in the net, but you saw Dowling there matching Richardson. Dowling, one of the leaders in blocks, 22 solo blocks on the year for the Knights. She's going to be big in the middle. Again, Malchow to serve for the Knights, the Warriors leading 7-5 early. Matheson swing, done by Walker. Jones there on the Richardson attempt. Brogan back down the line again for the kill.
I think that's a good call by Coach to move Brogan back to the right side. Again, she's more of an M1, and I won't go totally into the difference between M1 and M2, but M1 typically runs more in front of the setter and might miss out on some key swings due to maybe some mishandled passes or those kind of things. Right side will get a lot more attempts. So good call by Coach on that one.
Got another check. Carly Beckstrand, another super sophomore for Washington. The slide and the kill for the Warriors. Beckstrand and Malchow have been big pieces to the lineup, stepping in and not showing a lot of youth here in their sophomore season at the AA level. Solid years by both of them. You hear that Warrior fan base. They are standing in the top row. It's overflow for the Warriors right now.
Warriors not happy, as I believe Wenentanda was called in the net. Point Knights.
The correction there. Warriors lead 8-7. Michaela T-Hart to serve. Melcho has to move. Richardson from the back row, dug up by Jones again. Beckstrand with the swing. Riley took a little bit off that, but Wenentondo with the block. Something you're going to see. It says 6'2" in the program. Maybe the first kid they ever, I think, lied at making her too short. I believe she's closer to 6'4", but that height definitely going to help the Warriors in that block in the middle.
She's a long 6'2", and with the high bun makes her look even taller. So she will definitely be a force to be reckoned with at the net tonight. And that's an ace for Jaden Shetman. Libero scoring a point for the Warriors.
Jaden Shetman's had such a good year for Sioux Falls, Washington. Anchoring that defense has been so good year-round. 43rd ace on the year. She's back to serve again. T-Hart down the line. One line judge called it in, one called it out. Point Sioux Falls, Washington. Shetman back again, 11-7. Important for the Knights to keep it close here, but Shetman back to serve again. Injury timeout there, T-Hart. Hopefully that's not.
Junior Maggie Noonan checking in for the Knights. Correction on the right side, Teresa Simon, number 11, will be, it looks like she's trying to take this first ball setting for the Knights. They're just kind of running a funky offense. Looks like Bergen's taking some of the balls when they're serving, and then Teresa's taking some of the balls when they're receiving. We're just trying to keep things going, keep the Warriors on their toes again, because they have been so solid so far this season.
Gabby Jones with aggressive serve of the Knights. And there's Simon over to Riley. A hit violation. And Coach Heck talked about that, trying to figure out something to get another setter so they can move better. And it looks like right now, at least it's going to be Teresa Simon trying to fill that role. Rushed into action here after just a couple days, her first service of the year as a setter.
Great talk by the Knights. They needed that point, and Bergen will take the serve, try to get her Knights back on track, just down 3, 9-12.
So Bergen Riley, All-American junior, 6'1", setter, right side, back to serve for the Knights. Dug up by Richardson. Kinzer into the block.
That's a scary block to go up against Steffel and Beck. I'm not sure I'd be running too many more threes with Kinzer on in the 3 zone with that block right in front of her.
Bergen
Look for more slides.
Riley to serve again. Tipped over by Malchow. There again. Back down the line with power.
Well, she's taken advantage of that move to the right side and really keying in on that deep line shot. Really hard to dig for anyone, especially when you don't have that middle and left back. Jocelyn Richardson can definitely hold her own on defense. But it's just getting taken advantage of on that deep line.
Great communication there by the Warriors. Serve by Riley, just wide. And now one more aggressive. Serves in the state. Ellie Walker, senior for Sioux Falls, Washington. Warriors lead 13-11.
There's that scrappy defense that coach was talking about. Doesn't even faze him.
TR with a dig. Great rally here early on. DS is on both sides keeping the ball alive. Timing just off there for the between Malchow and Kinzer. Point O'Gorman.
Washington looks like they're trying to run a quicker set out to the right side or out to the outside with Jocelyn Richardson.
Macy Matheson checking back in.
Junior Abigail Moan checks in to serve for the Knights. She puts it over. And Kinzer puts it down quick on the right side. That's where I want to see Kinzer a little bit more, is swinging on those 6s, 7s, and 8s back behind the setter. I think that height advantage works a little bit more towards her on that right side of the court.
And Shelby back to serve after the kill. Seniors had a terrific season for the Warriors. Over to back set. This time Winnetonda and Richardson there. Jones there again. They've done a great job on the cross court early from Richardson.
Yeah, Richardson definitely tends to hit cross court. Gabby Jones is all over it.
Position's been great. You can see Jones, maybe the camera not so talkative, but on the floor gaining more and more confidence this year. The junior in that libero jersey. She digs the Kinzer serve. Winnetonda keeps it alive with her shoulder. Or not, double hit, point Knights.
Calling a tight game here tonight. Keeping these two top teams nice and clean.
Sabrina Trinan back in to serve. You have to wonder about that injury to T-Hart, and if that's going to affect the rotations for the Knights, how they're who's going to take her spot in the lineup. She hasn't been back in since the injury. Back there with the block. Great first set for Brogan.
Yeah, not a good set to leave inside and tight with Jocelyn Richardson. Brogan Beck just covers the net and gives her no choice but to hit it into her.
Trying it again, dug up by Walker. There's Winnetonda with a tip, finds the hole.
Good look by Winnetonda, taking advantage when that libero Gabby Jones is not in, taking advantage of that left back corner.
And you look, communication on both sides. Both teams are not showing a lot of nerves right now in this tight first set. Everybody's loose. They're playing. Nobody looks tight. As we see Melchow, the sophomore setter, back to serve for Sioux Falls, Washington.
Yeah, both teams really feeding off the energy of their student section. You're right, you don't see a lot of nerves. We haven't seen a ton of missed serves, not a ton of funky, goofy plays, so proving to be a pretty good 1-2 matchup thus far.
Jones Riley, Matheson trying to get her going on the outside. Winnetonda there, 17-14, Sioux Falls, Washington. Riley back to back, cross court. That time Melchow there. Richardson, cross court, takes a little bit off it.
There's the defense again.
Absolutely.
Washington, and Jocelyn is even able to put in a really great shot. Able to get a free ball out for the Warriors.
And Winnetonda kept that one alive, gets the point.
She's smiling. I think she just goofed up and got too excited and fell right on over.
But even there, the
Did the Knights get the point? I think they called her under. So, point Knights. Great play on both sides. You can hear the student section getting into it.
So that out of the net then, I guess, Winnetonda point Knights. Big point, instead of 18-14. 17-15 now, Washington. Simon serving. Go down the line, 18-15. Richardson to serve.
Gosh, Winnetonda with that hang time. She's so long. She can cover so much area.
There we go, touch on the kill. Big swing there. Again, you see Simon trying to get Riley out there so she can attack, doing a good job early.
And Warriors sticking to their game plan. That's Riley's, just her first kill of the night, where players like Brogan Beck already has 3. I believe I saw one other 3 there.
Kayla T-Hart now back to serve for O'Gorman. Melchow. Walker's first kill. Big swing through the block that time. 19-16, Sioux Falls, Washington. Both teams have both timeouts here in set number one. Important for the Knights to keep it close here at the end. And don't let this first set slip away. Shetland to serve.
Good save.
Shetland digs it up. Back to Beckstrand, dug up by T-Hart. A little communication error there.
Love that defense by T-Harts. That's kind of a confidence killer, as you'll see Coach Heck taking a timeout, trying to get those nerves under wraps as we close out this first set. Still a lot of time.
Yeah, absolutely. So as we get ready to show you the next one of our finalists for postseason awards, Sioux Falls, Washington leading 20-16 at O'Gorman. We'll be back in about 30 seconds. Back to live action. Warriors lead. Swing by Walker. Deep. Point O'Gorman, 21-17. Steffel back in for the Knights.
Looks like they call that out. Point Knights.
Gabby Jones back to serve for O'Gorman. Allison. Back to Beckstrand. Another kill for the sophomore.
Warriors are sticking to their normal game as they keep the offense pretty spread.
Right.
You know, they're not really looking to any hot hand right now. They don't need to. Keeping the Knights on their toes, and I think you can see in that swing right there, wide open.
That's right. Taryn Heibolt Sr. to serve, 21-17. Overpass by Jones, 22-17. Sioux Falls, Washington. Yeah, and you're going to see that. That is the MO of this Warrior team. It is a balanced attack, and like Coach Heck said, many weapons. Heibolt to serve. Headed by Jones.
Great pass by Jones. They get their senior Steffel.
Simon with the set. Steffel with a block back. Swing by Walker. Kill by Walker, 23-17. Warriors lead. Check calm, studying on the sideline. No timeout here. Taryn Heibold again to serve. Senior DS has played such a big role. Simon with a set. Over to Noonan. Walker cross court, just wide. Point Knights.
You can see her missing wide, trying to stay away from that solid block. She just needs to get after it. She's proven that she can hit it through the block as she did earlier. Keep staying aggressive.
Well, Gorman, here's exactly what we want. Bergen Riley to serve, trailing 18-23. Big swing by Kinzer, dug up by Riley. Melchow to Walker, off the tip, but that's a point. Getting Walker going here late in the second half of this first set.
Walker now leads the Warriors with 3 kills. And a very spread out offense. We have Jocelyn Richardson with 2, Shelby Kinzer with 1, Wen and Tonda with 1 as well.
And Walker to serve. Set point number 1, Sioux Falls, Washington. There's a swing and a kill by Noonan on the outside. Good sign for her. Good sign for the Knights with another option. Abigail Moan checking back in along with senior Macy Matheson for the Knights. Moan to serve. Knights trailing 19-24 here at the end of set 1. Got an overpass by Shetnans. Dug up on the Steffel swing. Riley to Steffel. Great job by Shetland again. Bergen Riley back-to-back cross court. Winner, Point Knights.
And those Warriors are making them earn each and every point. You see Jaden Shetland just jumping all over the court, holding her ground, being able to dig that overpass. She's what's really igniting these Warriors right now.
And Riley seems really comfortable with that back set to back. That's been huge here in set number 1. Moan again with the serve. Swing by Kinzer, that's deep.
Just like that, we have a 3-point set here in the first set. Big first set to go up either on 1 and 2.
Great job by Moan, a little service rally here for the Knights. Melchow to Richardson. Off the block, that's out. Set point, set number 1. Number 1, Sioux Falls, Washington, 25. Number 2, O'Gorman Knights, 21. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with set number 2. Here's a look at some more of our postseason finalists, the Adrenaline Volleyball channel. All right, we are back again from O'Gorman set. In between set number 1, Washington, 25-21, set number 1. Hey, what's some of your thoughts just overall on the first set?
Well, I think both teams doing a really good job of playing their game and sticking to their strengths. I think what both teams can do a little bit better job of is really controlling that first contact like we talked about earlier. I think Washington, of course, you see them come out with the first set when they're doing just a little bit better job passing that ball in system, so Melchow has multiple options each and every time. And I think O'Gorman can do a little bit better job keeping that ball high off the net, giving their setters time to set their offense. And I think they can get Bergen Riley involved a little bit more when she's not setting if they make that change.
Well, one positive with the lineup adjustments, as Coach Heck talked about, they're experimenting. Teresa Simon in setter, her first real action of the season with that, and thrown into such a big environment. Abby Moan jumps in with the T-heart injury, right? Even more adversity for the Knights, shuffling, rearranging. So interesting to see. Something I know you always keep such an eye on is what adjustments each team might make here in set number 2.
Yeah, and I think, credit to those athletes really playing pretty calmly for the environment that they're in. I mean, there's just a ton of people in this gym, a ton of eyes on them right now, and a really close, really competitive first match. I think it's going to be a long night for us.
Well, and I think one thing you definitely notice is Wenentunda in the middle and the difficulty she presents to an opposing offense. I mean, 6'4", and then athletic 6'4" in the middle, making life difficult, getting touches on several balls by the Knights, Riley swings included. Yeah,
and I think it makes a difference on every swing, because you just have to be aware that there is that height difference in Wenentunda, and whether she's even jumping or not, you know that there's going to be a bigger block in front of you. So just, a mental little note that you take, which could result in some errors on the Knights side.
And for you just joined us, some of the Knights shuffling of lineups due to the injury last weekend. Brooke Harbison, a junior, having a spectacular season, filling in at that setter position for the Knights. 23 aces, 119 digs, 413 sets. So trying to replace that here, and we're on to start set number 2. It's Walker with the serve.
Big swing by Matheson to start the set. Even in that out-of-system ball, Bergen Riley able to get her a really solid ball, and she scores.
And I got to think that's a definite plus for the Knights to get Matheson involved in swinging aggressively. Anything they get offensively out of her is a plus to take attention away from others.
Yeah, I think if they can clean up that first contact, like I mentioned, they're going to have more options and give themselves a little bit more opening.
Richardson there. Beck with that big swing across court. Richardson tried to go down the line that time into the net. Quick 2-0 lead for O'Gorman here. Bergen Riley will be back to serve. Riley serve, Walker with a dig. But you saw Kinzer trying to adjust her path there. She adjusts her swing. That ball goes wide, 3-0 O'Gorman.
Looks like just a little bit missed timing there for Kinzer. Gets a high five from Marcelo. She'll get right back into it.
Walker. Melchow on the run. Free ball over there by Shetnin. Back set. Back. That's been tough to stop so far tonight.
Yeah, so Brogan Beck's 4 kills, I think, or 5 kills now. I think 5 out of 5 has been hard down that line. Washington's got to find a way to stop that if they want to continue to be leading in this match.
That seems to be Riley's favorite target with this lineup is that back set. There's a swing by Kinzer, dug up by Trinan in the back row. Aggressive swing, that time again by Matheson, just wide, point Warriors.
I like that spot for her, just missed a little bit long. Go back to that spot.
Really see her though swinging with confidence tonight on every attempt that she's had. Kinzer with the serve, dug up by Jones. Riley goes right back to Matheson. There's another kill.
She heard you.
Not in this gym. It's too loud, but I think that's a plus for that offense. They get definitely swinging with confidence here for the senior Mason Matheson. The coach had talked about how the strides that she's made here in her senior season for the Knights. Walker plays it up. Big swing by Dowling. Getting the middle, Riley getting the middle involved there. Quick start here by O'Gorman, 6-1 early in set number 2.
That's Dowling's first kill of the night. Again, with that cleaned up first touch, been a lot easier getting multiple athletes involved. And you see them hitting at a much higher efficiency and thus leading in the match so far, 6-1.
Doing it with the swing. There's Richardson trying to get her involved, and they do. There's a kill by Jocelyn. Third kill of the night, but it seems like that block has been sliding, cheating over, trying to take her cross court away.
Yep, she's going to swing a little bit more down the line. I don't know how comfortable she is with that. We've seen her swing a lot across so far this year, so that'll be an interesting adjustment for her. Gets a great touch on that block. Right. Looks like she's making an adjustment line for Brogan Beck, who's been scoring.
You talk about making an adjustment. There's a side adjustment there by Richardson with the dump over the top for the point. As you like to tell me, you don't have to swing all the time. Those count just the same.
A point is a point is a point. And Jocelyn Richardson gets a point.
Melchow now with a serve.
The dreaded ceiling gets in the way.
These low rafters here, the O'Gorman High School gym. Point for the Warriors, 6-4 against sophomore Melchow setter. Service line dug up by Jones. Man.
We're really right side heavy here tonight with Beckstrand and Beck. I wonder if they play in that. Beckstrand, Beck. Good night to have Beck in your last name.
But I'll tell you what, Beckstrand, they have been extremely efficient when they get the ball to her. She's taking advantage of her opportunities now. 5 kills on the night.
Missed call by the refs. Bergen Riley attacks the ball above the 3-meter line, but I'll let it slide for tonight. Point Knights. You see her laughing on the court.
Like that. And with that, Gabby Jones to serve. Right there, little Miscommunication there by Washington on the serve receive. Ace for Gabby Jones.
I don't know if it's as much miscommunication as it is a tricky serve by Jones. You see it float and just tail off towards Jaden Shetton after being right at Ellie Walker that whole serve.
There you go. They're going to Richardson attempt on the right side. There's a swing by Riley that goes wide. And we were at practice the other night. One of the drills they kept doing was hitting seams. Everybody working on hitting that exact seam right there, so it pays off. Part of the scouting report and difficulty in the point for the Knights. Jocelyn Richardson serving now for Sioux Falls, Washington. By Noonan trying to get that ball, but it sails wide. 8-7. Warriors have climbed back in this after a hot start. O'Gorman was out to a 6-1 lead. Junior Jocelyn Richardson to serve. Back down the line.
And that'll go down as another kill for Beck, her 6th of the night. Almost hitting perfect here on that right side.
Yeah, the thing is, the time she went cross court, it was just out. A very effective night for Brogan Beck. Could be onto something here with her on the right side in this lineup. Michaela T-Hart with the serve. Kept alive by Malchow. Shetton plays it over. Good job. Exactly what Coach Schroeder talked about. We have to be ready for Bergen to dump the ball and find holes at all times. That time, doing what she's very good at, Point O'Gorman.
Yeah, and Jaden Shetton gets a really good touch on that, too. That's a really tough ball to dig up when you have a setter as good as Riley hiding it as well as she does.
Michaela T-Hart, 32 aces on the year, 92% efficiency rating. Again, something you're going to see. One of the strengths of this Knights team, their service and aggressive service game. T-Hart, couple-point run here. Knights 11-7.
That last point doesn't even go down as an ace, but it really should. Bergen Riley gets I believe, a block on that point, but really should be an ace.
There you go again. Carly Beckstrand on the outside, down the line, the super sophomore with another kill for Washington.
Beckstrand really taking advantage of that new outside on the court and able to sneak it past her once again.
Jones plays a Shetton serve. Big swing by Noonan that time, but into the block. Sure if it was Kinzer or Beckstrand who officially got it. Warriors have closed this lead, but it's been O'Gorman from the start here in set number 2, a leading 11-9. Quick set. Riley to Steffel. First kill for Bella Steffel, senior middle.
Steffel gets through a triple block there. All 3 front row players jump, and she sneaks it right past him.
Sabrina Trinan in, sophomore, serving for O'Gorman. Ellie Walker the dig. The Kinzer. Kinzer finds the hole in the block for a kill.
Look at the difference on the kills line for both teams. You have 3, 2, 5, 1, 4, and then on the Knights side you have 2, 2, 5, 1. Warriors just a little bit more spread out up until this point, but again, Knights really taking advantage of that Beck on the right side, who's been scoring pretty much at will at this point.
Taryn Heibolt with the solo that time. Ace for the Warriors. You know, and I think when you talk about that, as you look at that line, I think you'd be surprised that it's Matheson with those 5 kills. You know, a great start for her, but yeah, very balanced for Sioux Falls, Washington. Taryn Heibolt to serve again. Again, difficulty for the Knights. Swing by Matheson, dug up, over to Walker.
This is one of those right side attacks that you'll see from Bergen Riley.
Shetton keeps
that first ball.
Heibolt with a concentration. Walker swing wide. Yeah, great job that time by trying and setting up Riley for that right side attack, though she's playing the center position that you talked about earlier. Steffel now with the serve. Riley over to Matheson. That one finds a hole, the kill, but one thing, Emily Dowling has done a great job in the middle on the defensive end for O'Gorman.
Yes.
A very solid block. You combine her with Steffel and back, very opposing for the Washington offense.
It's an impressive thing to do, to be able to move from the outside to the right side to the middle.
Right.
So
there we
that's
go.
gonna be a lift call.
Ellie Walker there, leading the Warriors this season with aces. That's an ace for Ellie, the senior. Augustana Verbal. Walker back to serve again. Knights tie it up at 13.
She might have another.
There you go. Well, at Trinan, Coach Heck wants to talk about it. We're going to take a timeout. Warriors have come all the way back, 6-1 early lead. They now lead 14-13. We're going to take a look at the next set of finalists for our postseason volleyball awards, and we'll be back in 30 seconds. And just like that, we're back to live action. Walker still with a serve, another aggressive serve.
I love that swing by Matheson, just going in and get it. Knights will get another chance.
Dug up by Richardson, another example. Warriors trying to keep the ball alive, but point Knights. Again, impressed with the confidence and the aggressiveness of Macy Matheson early on in this match.
She's certainly stepping up for some of the injuries and new lineup type situations that the Knights are in, and is doing a really good job.
There you go. Back at Walker. Bergen Riley this time with the ace for the Knights. O'Gorman leads 15-14. Thus far, this match has been what we had hoped. Back and forth tight. Two very good teams going at it. Playing with a lot of confidence. Here's a swing by Richardson. Dug up by the Knights. Back set to back.
Love that adjustment and a really positive touch by Jocelyn Richardson. But Emily Dowling puts it right back in Kinzer's face for a block.
Dowling having a great night in the middle for O'Gorman. Again, like Coach Heck said, the growth of this senior class stepping in this year, a lot of them for the first time. That's what happens in big AA programs. Sometimes you get 1 year and great programs, it's for your senior year. Some seniors stepping up big for O'Gorman here tonight as they have all season. Kinzer to serve now for Washington. Dug up by Jones. There's that dump. Riley finds a hole.
Taking things into her own hands, she scores her third kill of the night.
Always so focused, right? Not a lot of emotion, but communicating. Leader, that time Matheson with the serve. 17-16 still O'Gorman. Washington setter now. Macy Melchow, sophomore, back to serve. Yeah. Brogan
Is back.
Back on that back set, something the Warriors are going to have to make an adjustment because it's been almost unstoppable in the first set and a half here tonight. First real action for back on that right side due to injuries, and she is filling in nicely. There's the serve. Warriors keep it tight. Trail 17-18. Sioux Falls, Washington up 1-0. Richardson here looking to get going. Good short serve, dug up by Jones. Back again, cross court. A little wide. Her only 2 errors of the night have come on that cross court, but good that she has a variety of shots, right?
Yep. Yeah, you see the outsides on the other side of her making that adjustment. Great decision by Bergen Riley to reverse the flow there. She goes away from Brogan Beck, who's been having a phenomenal night. Out to the outside, wide open.
That you do it with the big swing in the kill and the great positioning. Michaela T. Hart serving. Back set now. That time, the Knights had an answer for Beckstrand. There's Ellie Walker with a kill.
Walker catches TR just a little too tight. Goes for that deep corner shot.
I think the Warrior players talked about this, how they're quicker to congratulate somebody else for a kill. You see that, such a tight group. Again, never panicking. Absolute teammates. Big swing by Steffel there, dug out by the Warriors.
Double contact called on Melchal there. Tough ball to save, but the Knights will get that point up just 1. They hit 21st, 20-19.
Trinan in to serve, replacing Noonan for Sioux Falls O'Gorman. O'Gorman trying to even things up in this match. Washington leads 1-0. Followed by Richardson. Melchal moves to get it. Back to Walker, down the line. Ellie Walker finds a hole in the Knight defense.
The refs will call another double contact on that. Just doesn't seem to be clean enough for them here tonight. Coach Schroeder wants to talk about it.
Hey, and with that, we'll take the break. That was a point. Knights 21-19. O'Gorman leads here in set number 2. We'll show you another one of our lists for postseason award finalists, the Adrenaline Volleyball channel. We'll be back in 30 seconds. All right, we're back here. Set number 2. O'Gorman leads 21-19. One thing we need to talk about, with any great program, assistants are so important. The assistant coaches, we'll have a chance to talk a little bit more, but veteran coaching staffs for both of these teams. Trying to serve for Sioux Falls. Back set to Beckstrand. Another kill.
Even some of those off-putting touches, you see her kind of mishit that ball. We used to call it a paintbrush. Almost tend to score more often than that solid contact. She finds an open spot in the court. Just a funky one for Jones to dig.
You can see the confidence with the 2 sophomores. Melchal setting Beckstrand. 6 kills for her. She checks out. Highbolt to serve. Riley. There's another one. Mason Matheson finds the hole in the O'Gorman defense. Knights keep that 2-point lead here in set number 2. Senior Isabella Steffel to serve for Sioux Falls O'Gorman.
A little strong for Steffel.
They're there. Washington will take it, 21-22. Then all O'Gorman here in set number 2. Warriors have had 1 tie, looking to get their 2nd tie here. Ellie Walker to serve. Jones right there for O'Gorman. Another tip by Riley. Richardson into the block. Kept alive on both sides. Great dig there by Walker. Riley over to Matheson.
I love an aggressive swing still by Matheson, but Warriors just kind of tire them out with that defense. They're able to keep the ball alive for so long, force the Knights into an error, and tie up this set.
They're tied at 22. Again, Ellie Walker with the serve. Pass up. Riley over. Kept alive, but no. 4th point now that that Riley served with that dump against the defense.
Can't do it all the time. You got to make sure you're giving the ball to your attackers to keep the defense on their toes, but when she does it, she's efficient.
And here's Bergen Riley, 23-22, trying to look to maybe serve out the set. There's a swing. Richardson, the block goes wide. We're tied at 23. O'Gorman with 2 timeouts. Sioux Falls Washington still has 1. Shelby Kinzer, senior, to serve. That's the serve tight to the net. Dug up.
Little off there on the slide for Beck.
Pass off to Richardson. Into the net. Set point, Sioux Falls O'Gorman. Who else? Macy Matheson to serve. Looking to even things up and a set a piece here for Sioux Falls. Matheson, the senior, having a tremendous night so far. Dug up by Heibel. Over to Richardson. Kept alive. Back set to Beck. Richardson cross court. Down the line, Emily Dowling. You can hear this place. It's a little loud in here. Sioux Falls O'Gorman takes set number 2, 25-23. We're even in a set apiece. We're going to take a look at one more set of our postseason award finalists, and we'll be back in 30 seconds. And we are back. We're tied at a set apiece. This thing's been everything we'd hoped for so far. Number 1 versus number 2. Both teams battling, players stepping up. What a great set, and the fans are totally into it. Haley, break down set number 2, maybe some adjustments. What did you see the change maybe from set number 1?
Well, I think the Knights really leaning into what's working for them tonight, and you see Macy Matheson and Brogan Beck each with 7 kills apiece. In just 2 sets, really leaning on them and looking a lot more confident and really letting their student section and all the fan energy in this gym tonight move them forward, and have played a lot cleaner through this set too. Oh, and by the way, Washington only loses 25-23, and they didn't look near as clean as they were the first set, only losing by 2 points, but I think they can clean up that attacking a little bit on the Washington side.
And still trying to find a way to maybe get Richardson going a little bit, struggle a little bit against the block. Beckstrand, though, has had a huge match, with her shedding and doing what she does. Washington keeping balls alive, but O'Gorman just not making a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, O'Gorman looking really clean right now, and I think that's going to be really important moving forward for the Knights because of how just scrappy the Warrior defense is. I mean, they're going to have to take multiple swings. They can't rely on the fact that they're going to score on that first swing.
I just love O'Gorman's approach. It's so businesslike. Now, Dowling showed a little bit of emotion there at the end on that set-winning kill, but all just businesslike and just not a lot of ups and downs. On both teams really. Just on a even keel, but a lot of confidence they're playing with, and I'm just so impressed with all these new pieces stepping in, for O'Gorman.
Yeah, I think both teams' approach to this match, I'm really respecting, really loving to see. You can definitely tell, they're not as nervous. They're really using it, as Coach Heck said, as a measuring stick, but I feel that from both sides right now.
Right, yeah, in trying new things, but you get into here, you see it. I just love the communication and like Shetland, you know, how she stepped up in her senior year. So we're ready for set number 3. Bergen Riley with an ace, saying to her teammates, let's go. There's a little bit of emotion. Ace from the junior All-American Riley there. O'Gorman again, first point of the set, early lead.
Some people ask why you start with your setter serving first. That's why.
There's a great quick serve, and Kinzer with the kill, finding a hole. That time, Malchow with a quick set to Kinzer.
Yeah, Beck leaves that open just a little bit, and Kinzer's able to sneak it right past her. Kind of a tough transition going from the middle to the right side where she has to be that primary blocker for that 3 attack.
Ellie Walker here with the serve. Another ace for Walker.
Both teams ready to go here in set 3, trying to score points as quickly as they can, as we see 2 aces already in the first 3 points of the match.
Ellie Walker with Walker-type stat line, 4 aces, 5 aces now, 5 kills for Walker Sr. with that powerful topspin serve that she's been known for her entire career here at Washington.
I don't see a lot of the topspin serves anymore because they do have to be done pretty correctly in order to make them harder to pass, but obviously you see Walker has nailed it again.
All right. Riley getting Dowling, getting her middle involved early here. Had the set winning point, set number 2. Here with an early kill for Emily Dowling, senior, 5'10" senior, middle for the Knights. Matheson to serve. Washington leads early. Richardson over to Kinzer, free ball. Matheson back set to Riley. Riley back set to back. That time Shetton there with the dig.
Love the aggression out of the backcourt for Ellie Walker. Just comes flying out of there. They don't run a lot of those back row attacks. Hits it with confidence as you see her teammates go crazy.
Yeah, Walker's starting to heat up here with the 5 aces we talked about. Now with her 6th kill. Tied with Richardson for the lead for the Warriors, as they've been all year. There's cross court set by Riley over to Noonan. Dug up by the Warriors. Richardson with the swing. Bergen there.
A little miscommunication there as Beck thought Bergen was going to take a swing out of the backcourt there, and Wenentanda finds that deadly middle right over the block attack. Such a hard attack to defend because you have a ton of those athletes in the same area. A lot of communication in a short period of time.
And not a lot of action for her, but both of her kills have been that exact same play. There's Riley again doing what she does. This time kept alive by the Warriors.
Kept alive by Shelby Kinzer.
There's
a middle, not usually playing defense.
Kinzer keeping the ball alive. Cross court, Riley to Noonan. Maggie with the swing and the kill.
And how about the development of Shelby Kinzer as a middle the past 2 years? You know, really just being a true role player last year and then really stepping into her own. You see her just kind of being the light of this Washington Warrior team.
Yeah, and the attitude and done is a little bit, but an undersized middle who gets a lot done and obviously can get some digs. She can probably play off the net as well as she can on the net because she has early, at times in her career. Washington with an early 6-3 lead. They jump out early here in set number 3. Macy Melchow now to serve. Dug up by Gabby Jones. Riley to Beck.
That's a tough one, and that's another kill. Her lucky number 8 for Broken Beck.
That time in, and Wenentanda just couldn't quite close the block, and Beck with another kill as she checks out. Michaela Tehart now serving for the Knights. Shetton, Melchow has to move for this pass. Richardson goes to get it. Tehart keeps that ball alive. And Noonan with another kill. Great job by Tehart keeping that ball alive in the middle. Ends up being a kill for the Knights.
Yeah, Noonan, good high swing. She's able, that's not a guaranteed kill, but it's just high enough to put the Warriors in kind of an off-putting spot and is able to sneak that past. Really settling into the serve here in set 3. Another ace, I believe the 4th of this set early on.
We're just looking down on that O'Gorman bench. We haven't seen Megan T. Hart since that early injury in set number 1. She's not on the bench. And so that's caused some rotational obstacles even more for the Knights. But good service run there by Michaela T. Hart. Richardson now will serve for Sioux Falls, Washington.
They've really taken that in stride. You haven't seen it really affect them that much, other than obviously the personnel that it's affecting. But great job with the Knights. Noonan just misses on the outside. I think she was going for a good shot, though. Line is open.
Absolutely, and it just, again, so impressed. So it hasn't got a lot of varsity reps early to come into an atmosphere like this and play with such confidence. There she is again. Roll shot. Jocelyn Richardson, again, junior outside utility, do it all for the Warriors, serving. That time Bergen tried with a dump.
Just a little wide. It's a good call, tough shot to do. There's so little room for error there on the.
Here's a run. Coach Heck's going to take a timeout and try and squash the momentum for Sioux Falls, Washington. Now, early in set number 3, Warriors lead 10-6. We're going to show you another set of our finalists, and we'll be back in 30 seconds. And we're back. Live action. Jocelyn Richardson served. Warriors lead 10-6. Match tied at 1. Jones moves to get that. Ace for Richardson.
You know, you talk about a home court advantage, but unfortunately, this home court has been troublesome for the O'Gorman Knights, trying to pass the ball nice and high to get to their setter, but ceiling keeps getting in the way.
Yeah, those rafters have been the seventh man for both teams at times tonight. Back in play, over to Shetland, over to Walker. There's the block with Riley and Steffel. Good touch. One of the few errors that time. Beckstrand, just the timing a little bit off point. Knights. Sabrina Trinan in, serving now. Melchow over to Walker. Cross court, hits a line.
She sneaks it in, and you can see her laughing. Her teammates pumping her up still. That's what you have to do. You still have to celebrate those points. You can't let a kill on your own side get you down.
The O'Gorman student section goes yellow and cheer. You go cross court for the kill. That's the best way to keep them quiet. So kill for Walker. Shetland now with the serve. 12-7 Washington. There's a set for Steffel, dug out by Shetland again. Richardson keeps the ball alive. TR to Jones. Cross court by Matheson. This time Richardson's there. There's Kinzer. A little bad break with the net there. The English takes it out of bounds.
I think it nicked the block of the Knights there first.
Okay.
Kinzer gets another kill. Her fourth, I believe, of the night.
Shelby Kinzel. Again, you look down that stat line. 7, 4, 6, 2, 5 for the Warriors. Very balanced attack. Going back to Walker. That's a touch. That's a kill. Ellie Walker having a set here in set number 3. The Sioux Falls, Washington senior. Just talk about this tight senior class, how much they've been to each other. Just keep them even keel. No big highs, no big lows. Paying off here in set 3. There's the sophomore to sophomore combination. Beckstrand with another kill.
I love during that interview portion, you can hear Ellie Walker and Jocelyn Richardson talking about how tight-knit this team is. And they said, whatever you're thinking, how close it is, we're even closer than that.
That's right.
And they look at each other and start giggling, and I don't even want to know how close they are. But it's definitely proving to be a positive for them here tonight. And just love the energy on the Warriors
Well,
side.
both the seniors and Coach Schroeder talked about as there's Kinzer with another kill down the line. They talked about their Fargo trip and just how good that was for team bonding, including the underclassmen. They came even tighter that weekend, and probably the coolest memories of the entire season. 16-7 now. Sioux Falls, Washington has opened up a big 9-point lead. O'Gorman trying to get back here. Matheson there with the kill, attacking the back line.
Keep going after that corner. It's open, and it doesn't look like Washington's going to make that adjustment very well in right back right now. Not willing to give that up, and they're not taking away that line on the block, so keep swinging line.
Steffel there catches the net, but Kinzer again ready.
Miscommunication, but a great save. Will she get up in time?
Beckstrand keeps the ball alive again. Jousting at the net. That's why they do that drill in every camp, volleyball camp there is. Point Sioux Falls O'Gorman.
Keeps the kids interested, and it's really important to practice. As you see multiple times, jousting at the net here tonight has made a big difference.
Isabella Steffel again to serve, trying to get O'Gorman into this, 16-9. Riley cross court there to Matheson. Walker in. Had to move to get that set there. Just swings a little bit wide. Steffel now a little three-point run here for the Knights. Trying to cut into this lead in the all-important set number 3. Walker with the swing. Walker with the kill through the block.
That's Walker's 4th kill of this set, really coming into her own. She had that one misfire, and I guess that one out-of-system ball that she just missed here, but really swinging confidently and not kind of letting those misfires affect her. She keeps going after that tall block.
You know, we've seen that a couple times this year. Maybe Richardson doesn't have the stats. Walker picks them up. Maybe there's a night Walker's off. Richardson picks her up. It's been that way all season long, and having, like Coach said, Kale said, they have so many weapons to go to, and it's just a perfect example of that tonight.
Yeah, and I think Macy Melchow does an excellent job of doing a mixture of going to that hot hand. As you see, Shelby Kinzer throughout her rotation in the front row, you got to feed her when she's swinging like that. As she continues to do, picks up, what is that, her 5th, 6th kill of the night. As a middle, that's a big number in the 3rd set.
And Walker back to serve. Last time up, I think 3 aces during her service run. 18-11, Sioux Falls, Washington. Another great serve. Serves it short. Overpass Richardson there. Point Washington. Again, the Ellie Walker serve problem for the Knights.
It's been all Washington this set, and I really think that the biggest difference is their energy. They've had the momentum, had the control, and had the energy all throughout this 3rd set after dropping a really emotional 2nd set.
And Richardson, O'Gorman maybe trying to get back involved. There's the back set, cross court. High bolt there, but there's Matheson finding the hole, point O'Gorman.
I always thought they should get half a kill to back on that.
Well, great job after Eibolt keeps the ball alive. Yeah. Matheson right there with the quick kill at the net, and she'll serve now for O'Gorman. Shetton with the sprawling dig. Great job there by Noonan keeping the tip from Richardson alive. Slide to Kinzer. Knights were ready. Shetton now adjusts. Doing a better job against the offense of Beck here in set number 3. Quick set, Emily Dowling.
She's been able to find some serious holes in the Washington defense, and I don't know if it's because the Warriors weren't prepared to defend her from the middle, and they didn't have a game plan or what's going on, but she has had some wide open shots. Her 6th kill of the night.
Yeah, came in with 59 kills on the entire season, 6 here, including the set winner, number 2. But still, Washington 19-13. There's that back set to back.
Coach Heck wanting a net call on the Warriors. Looks like the net is bouncing. I don't know if I see it from the ball.
Bergen Riley's going to go over and talk to the up official. As of right now, that's point Sioux Falls, Washington. 20-13 on the swing by back being wide.
Do they have a challenge system here?
You know better than start challenging me on volleyball rules, but they're going to stick with it. Sioux Falls, Washington, 20-13. Kinzer back to serve for the Warriors. Goes wide, aggressive serve. Great communication there by Sioux Falls O'Gorman, 2014. Gabby Jones, junior libero. Back to serve for O'Gorman. Dug up by Heibel.
It's a really good serve.
Richardson, the touch. There's Jones with a dig. Again, Riley finding her middle, Steffel with the kill.
Yeah, and that play started with a great dig and a really great serve by Gabby Jones. That is what's not celebrated, I don't think, enough. Gabby Jones able to get them even in that position that Riley can set her middles and be open.
Great job finding that crease again. This time Heibel gets it. Richardson takes something off it. This time Shetland there as they go to the middle. Melchow taking a page out of Bergen Riley's book. She finds the hole in the defense with the dump. Kill for the sophomore.
Gosh, every point the Knights have fought and fought and fought to earn, the Washington Warriors have a response for it, and it's just been all them in this set. Macy Melchow, after that kill, goes back, gets herself an ace.
You know, little bit of excitement there from the normally pretty reserved and game-faced sophomore, but Melchow excited. 22-15 now, looking to take a 2-1 lead in the match. Serve just wide, but again, another aggressive serve. Good decision there by Jones. Michaela Tihar back in, 5'5", junior. 32 aces, again, 91.5% serve efficiency. Looking to draw the Knights closer. Melchow to Wenentanda. Riley there for the block.
That's got to be a difficult transition for Melchow to go from setting a 5'10" Kinzer to a 6'2". Yeah, right.
Let's say 6'4".
6'4" Wenentanda. So that's really tough to do, and you see her kind of leave her a little bit short there.
There's Noonan, cross-court swing. Walker there with a dig. Melchow cross to Richardson. Finds the back line. There's Jocelyn Richardson with a kill. 23-17 Sioux Falls, Washington.
That's the 5-point zone.
That's a 5-point zone in top testing. Absolutely it is. And an athlete that scored very, very well, Jocelyn Richardson.
And that's why it's worth 5 points. Very, very hard to defend.
Walker keeps the ball alive. Let's swing by Noonan. Back set to Beckstrand.
They've been a little bit off on that the past few times, especially when Melchow is pulled so far into the middle. That's why having that great first contact is big, especially for the Warriors with an unexperienced setter like Melchow, even though she's handling it so well.
Right. Trinan now back into serve, just wide. Great decision there by Richardson to let that one go. And we're at set point. Washington looking to take that all-important third set. They lead 24-18. Senior Jaden Shetnan in serving, libero serving for the Warriors. Over past Riley. Great decision, great body control. Finds a line. Big point for Sioux Falls O'Gorman.
That's really tough to do. I mean, she's not looking. That's a blind shot. And she finds that corner and that sideline so perfectly and just showing her skills.
Isabella Steffel now serving. Dug up by Richardson. There's that quick. Kinzer back in the lineup. Kinzer extremely active at the net. Look at how excited her
extra water
teammates
break
are.
after that one.
Absolutely, she was all over the place. And the senior gets the set-winning point, 25-19. Number one, Sioux Falls of Washington takes a 2-1 lead over Sioux Falls O'Gorman. We're going to take a 1-minute break, and we'll be back. Here's another one of our postseason award finalist lists. All right, and we're back. Sioux Falls, Washington, number 1 in the state, takes a 2-1 lead of impressive set number 3 there against Sioux Falls O'Gorman. Shelby Kinzer, Ellie Walker, senior duo, big in set number 3 for the Warriors.
Yeah, and you just love to see just the supporting cast and all the other players really hype them up, if you to use what the kids are using these days, to really hyping their teammates up. Giving them high fives. I think those two do such a good job of doing that for other players and really being that senior leader and taking those younger players under their wing like we talked about to them earlier in this show, and fun to see them really take advantage tonight. Is that scoreboard right with Ellie Walker? 6 aces and 9 kills.
Yeah, 3 there in that second set, or that third set. One thing we touched on, and we kind of got interrupted with the match, but we talk about coaching staffs, and both of these staffs so solid. Kayla Hecht, Kylie Voorhees, former Rapid City Stevens head coach, made the move to Sioux Falls. She's on the bench with him. She's won a state championship. I know he relies on her so much. And then for Sioux Falls, Washington, Coach Alfson, Coach Heitkamp, or Irvine, excuse me. She hasn't been Heitkamp for a while, but Coach Irvine have been with Kelly I believe his entire career, and they do such a good job, especially Nate working with Melchow. Both of these coaching staffs so vital to the success of both these teams and programs.
Yeah, because what you don't see, tonight you see Coach Schroeder and Coach Hecht being the most verbal and being, talking to the players, talking to the refs. But what you don't see is in and out of practice every single day who the players are talking to, who's getting that one-on-one attention, and it's those assistant coaches as well.
Absolutely, more he just so calming, aspect of Kale, and they, he talked about them just being on the same wavelength, right, and all the things she handles for him that he doesn't, and vice versa with Lindsay, for Sioux Falls, Washington, what she does for Kelly and has done over the years, and we just spent a lot of time with Coach Alfson over the summer, and watching him, he's kind of been that one setters coach, if you will, handling Melchow, a lot of timeouts, talking to her, slowing down, especially early on in the season when she was a little bit more green than she is right now.
Yeah, and I'd say he's done a pretty good job with her.
Absolutely. They were simulating in practice Bergen Riley and Coach Schrader's the ugliest Bergen Riley impression that we'd seen. So we're ready for set number 4, I think, here. Washington's going to start. I think we have the rotations as Richardson and Riley kind of joke with each other at the net. Club teammates in the summer. Ellie Walker to start off. Important. Whoever scored the first point of every set has gone on to win that set. So let's see if the Knights can get off to a good start here. High ball to Melchow, over to Richardson.
And get that ball to Dowling early on.
Right.
She scores another kill from that middle position.
7th kill for Emily Dowling, who, again, we talked about coming in with 59 kills on the year, 7 tonight. She's been a force in the middle for Sioux Falls O'Gorman. Bergen Riley now to serve. Found that crease. Another ace for Bergen. Third.
Taking advantage of an opportunity when you're given it. Dowling doing an excellent job here tonight.
2-0, Knights early. Again, there's Kinzer finding the line. Big swing by Shelby Kinzer. It's such a story. If you talk about it, you follow AA, we talk about this all the time. A kid getting a chance in a program as a senior and coming up big. She's been definitely one of the team MVPs for the Warriors this year. Huge swing for her. There she is with the dig. Richardson cross. Richardson kill.
She's finally getting that cross-court shot back open as she's been going line. We talked about during the beginning of the match that cross-court shot just wasn't open. Gabby Jones was all over it. She's been forced to swing line, maybe not her comfort zone a little bit. Opens up that cross-court back up, and she scores.
That's some power. Here's Matheson now finding the hole. O'Gorman's been very successful finding that hole in the Washington defense for several points. Knights take a 3-2 lead. Matheson back to serve for O'Gorman. She was so instrumental in set number 2 when they pulled it out. Need to get her going again, I would think. That serve wide for her. important here for the Knights, get a little bit of momentum. Right, they're a quiet team, kind of by nature. They need to get a little bit of fire here and try and get back in here and take set number 4. Melchow serving for Washington.
They're going to want to get that momentum here early on because the Warriors are just so difficult to stop when they have everything clicking on all cylinders. That missed serve will definitely help them as they get a chance now.
Steffel checking back in. Gabby Jones to serve. Junior libero, dug up by Walker. Melchow back set to Richardson this time. Again, Washington, success with the back set, finding a hole in the Knights' D.
I think we often forget, too, that Jocelyn Richardson spent the entire season last year on the right side, so she's very comfortable taking that swing.
There's Steffel with the joust at the net, wins that. You know, we talk about the development of Melchow. We talked this summer, that was a huge question mark, was will they be able to keep Richardson playing all the way around, or will she have to be their setter? Yeah. So the job Melchow's done jumping in and thriving has been huge for Sioux Falls, Washington. They're not the same team if Richardson isn't playing all the way around if she's the setter.
And truly jumping in. You know, I mean, she comes from a not naturally, but a true middle position.
Right.
And an attacker. And to take on this role and to really embrace it and work with her teammates like that, she's calling the shots, she's calling the routes. She's doing an excellent job.
6-4 now. O'Gorman will lead. Walker, piece, and there's a kill for Ellie Walker. 10th on the evening for Ellie, the senior. Pulls her back in. Wenatanda. Shetman, senior libero, back to serve. T-Hart with a dig.
We just haven't seen Riley come off the net as much as she has in previous games to hit the ball. I know she's being a setter in this game right now, but you got to wonder if some of those out-of-system balls, if she just gets off the net, she could take a swing every now and again.
Steffel with the swing, Walker with the block. Ties things up at 6. Set number 4 again. Just join us. Sioux Falls, Washington leads 2-1. Battle of number 1 Washington versus number 2 O'Gorman. Great student sections here on both teams tonight. Riley with the set over to Noonan. Swing. Kill by Noonan. Again, rushed into a little more action than she's going to work tonight with the injury situation. T-Hart, Megan T-Hart going out early, and then Harbison injured herself last week. A banged-up O'Gorman team just trying to find their rhythm. Brand new lineup, so they've had some a lot of new faces step in and play big tonight.
They take a 2-point lead as the Warriors kind of mishandle a few balls. They're going to pull ahead. This will be the time to do it.
Sabrina Trinan, sophomore DS, in the serve. Riley to Matheson. That combination's worked well. Down the line again for Matheson with a kill. 10th kill on the night. Melchow over to Walker. Dug up by Trinan, kept alive by Riley.
See
Free
if
ball.
They can reload this.
Big swing there. Dug up by. Now this. She's ready.
I think the student section said it for us.
Berger wide with a point, and that was a game face look from the junior. 10-6 O'Gorman. Swing by Kinzer, dug up, kept alive by Steffel. Riley to Matheson. Richardson's there. Tip by Walker. Matheson's there. Overpass, free ball, Knights. Good job by Shetton keeping it alive. Free ball again, opportunity for the Knights. Riley, slide to Steffel. They called it net violation on Steffel.
And the Warriors have been so good this match of picking up Bergen Riley's tips. I think usually you would see her score a lot more on those. With only 5 kills, I think she had almost 10 the other night just in that setting position.
And it's not just their libero Shetland, it's everybody. It's a team defensive effort up for Washington, as it's been all year, according to Coach Schroeder. Walker there, the cross-court swing. Dug up by Jones. Right like that. Bergen Riley.
Broadcaster's jinx. Or not jinx if you're talking to Riley. That's really tough to defend.
And another one, but I love the intensity for Bergen Riley here in this set. Right? Isabella Steffel with the service error, 11-8. Sioux Falls O'Gorman again. The team in every set that's jumped out early has gone on to win. Washington, if they can reverse that, they'll take the match. But right now, it's O'Gorman 11-8. Walker to serve for the Warriors. Tough topspin over free ball. Richardson into the block of Riley.
Looked like that was going to be going out, but Walker comes flying in at the last moment. You can't blame her for wanting to cover her teammates.
Block, that's a bang decision there. And again, Richardson, that block is favoring her, just making it tough for her to get going tonight on the offensive end. Free ball. Good opportunity for O'Gorman. Beck
has been quiet in this set so far, as the Knights have been getting on runs with her in the backcourt and then off.
And there's going to be a timeout. Coach Schroeder wants to nip this momentum in the bud if he can. It's 13-8. Sioux Falls O'Gorman trying to tie this match at 2. We're going to take a look at another set of our postseason award finalists, and we'll be back in 30 seconds. Haley fixing our camera there, so we're back up and operational. Kinzer serving for Sioux Falls, Washington. Had a huge night for the Warriors. O'Gorman leads 15-9. Swing by Beck.
Woo.
Hit by Dowling. Guanatani can't handle it. That's another point for O'Gorman.
She tries to get a leg up on Jones and jump over her for that kill.
Matheson to serve. Melchow, cross-court to Richardson. Johnson with a tip this time. Riley there. Jones.
She'll take a swing out of the backcourt.
Good coverage. There's that back set to Beck. Touched by the Warriors. Great rally here. Wenentanda. That time the timing was on.
Yeah, Melchow having to hang it just a little bit longer for her 6'4" middle in Wenentanda, and she really gets a hold of that one.
These have been the only two number one ranked teams in Class AA all year. O'Gorman the first month of the season. Washington the last month of the season. In a battle. And like Coach Heck said, there's a good chance these two teams could meet up again in Rapid City in a couple weeks. But playing like they're both the number one team in the state right now. Melchow to serve, sophomore setter. Big night for her, 16-11 Warriors trail. Bergen Riley, quick job again. Emily Dowling in the middle. Point Knights.
Doing such a good job of just swinging to light is what we used to call it, and where you see light and you don't see two hands in front of you. She had a triple block up on her and is able to find that hole and able to score. Is that her 10th kill of the night?
Dowling with 10 kills out of the middle. Another point. O'Gorman right now looking definitely like they're wanting to send this to a fifth set. Washington a little bit shaken, right? Not quite as much communication as they've had early. See if they can get a little momentum here. There's a set to Wenentanda. Dug up by Jones. Ooh. Matheson with a swing. That was out. Point Warriors. Again, important for Washington, just right. Not quite as much energy, not quite as much communication right now. O'Gorman has taken the momentum. Bergen Riley's going to talk to the up ref there if there was a touch or not. Both fan bases were upset. I'm not sure why. Richardson will serve. Back to action. Riley back to back. Jocelyn Richardson with the big dig. Walker finds a line. Point Warriors.
That's huge for Richardson to be able to pull off that dig. Now Broganbeck, every time she goes to swing down the line, is going to know that it can be stopped at this point. Washington brings it within 3.
Jocelyn Richardson serving again. Swing by Steffel. Kept alive.
They're going to call a no-touch on that Wenentanda block.
Timeout. Coach Heck's going to take a timeout, trying to get them back momentum. Washington trying to make a late push here. It's 14-18. Nice lead and trying to send this to a fifth set. We're going to take a 30-second break, let you look at some of our postseason award finalists, and we'll be back. All right, we're back to live action. Sioux Falls O'Gorman leading 18-14. Jocelyn Richardson to serve, still serving for the Warriors as they try and tighten this fourth set up. Warriors with a 2-1 lead. Riley over to Noonan through the block. Shetland calls off Richardson. Richardson keeps a free ball alive. Over to Walker. Into the block, point Ellie Walker. Sioux Falls, Washington within 3 now, 18-15. A lot more life now. They got that momentum back that they kind of lost in the middle here of set number 4. Jocelyn Richardson continuing with her service run for Sioux Falls, Washington.
And Walker talked about how Coach Schroeder told them how proud he was of them every time they pushed it to a fifth set, but said that maybe they should knock it off because they've proven that they can come back. Well, maybe this is where they prove to Coach hey, we can come back in set 4 and not set 5.
He said, you've proven you can win in 5. You don't have to do it every night. So they're trying to see if they can end this in 4. Richardson got him within 2. Steffel in the middle. Bergen Riley's been so effective, and she's been able to set both of her middles tonight, both Dowling and Steffel.
Again, that is why the first contact is just so vital, especially for this O'Gorman team battling so many injuries and so many different lineup situations. If they can get those balls to their efficient middles, they're going to be in a good spot.
Kayla Teahart there. There's Wenatunda again finding the hole. Carl's girl on the court, been very effective herself with the dump. (1917), Jaden Shetman, senior libero, serving for Washington. Dug up by her counterpart, Jones. Over to Noonan. Melchow on the run to get it. Back to Walker. Swing, but that's wide.
And they all have to bounce back quick as the Knights make it to 21st, 20-17, just a 3-point lead.
Sabrina trying to check him back in. She'll serve for O'Gorman. 5'5", sophomore DS.
That's a tough one to dig out of the net.
Tough one to dig. Important now, 21-17, important point here for Washington. Again, one of their trademarks, haven't got rattled yet this year. Trying to get momentum back. There's Beckstrand, one of her few swings here in set number 4.
Just like that, Warriors will take a time to talk about it.
Coach Schroeder trying to keep this thing in the 4th set, rally his troops. It's 22-17, O'Gorman in the lead. Washington leads the match 2-1. We'll take this look at. All right, back to live action. Trying to serve out this 4th set for the Knights. There's a swing by Kinzer. She finds the line again. Another kill. Shelby Kinzer, 8th on the night.
She's just been so effective and minimal errors Kinzer has been. Every time she gets that quick middle 3, she scores.
Melchow, such a connection. The timing with those two has been so good. Taryn Heibolt to serve. Well, overpass. That time, Bergen Riley wins the joust again. Huge point for the Knights. 23-18, senior Bella Steffel serving. Washington leads 2-1. The defending champs looking to send this to a 5th. Over to Walker. Into the net. Set point, Sioux Falls O'Gorman. 24-18, Bella Steffel serving again. Tight serve to the net. Melchow gets it. Over to Kinzer, but this time there's a block. That'll do it for set number 4. Sioux Falls O'Gorman 25, Washington 18. We're tied at 2 sets apiece. Number 1 and number 2 are headed to a 5th. We'll take another break. We'll be back in 1 minute. All right, everybody, we are back. Set number 5, the sprint to 15. Number 1 and number 2, we're tied at 2 sets apiece. Wouldn't have wanted anything else. This has lived up to the billing. And I'll tell you what, if either team is nervous, they're not showing it in their huddles here between the 5th set. Both teams very loose, joking around, having fun as the coaches talk about strategy. What do you look for in a 5th set?
Well, like you mentioned, race to 15. Whoever wins the first point is going to have a huge advantage. Whoever wins the first handful of points is going to be at a huge advantage. This is such a shorter set. Without the side change anymore in set number 5, that definitely defeats some of the kind of newness halfway through the set. So someone has to take advantage of this fifth set and get off to a hot start.
Do you shorten up your bench, your rotations? Do you stay with what you've been doing? What do you do in a shorter 5th set as a coach, or are there different philosophies?
I think you just got to focus on one point at a time and just know that there are going to be less points up for grabs, if you will. And serve receive are going to be huge. You're going to start with your best server, as most teams do in all sets, but really focus on getting that first contact high off the net so you can run multiple players. And like we've seen so much of today, is trying to get the ball to that right side or to that middle, who have been so effective.
One thing we always like to watch is, do they keep swinging? Do teams get tight? Do they stay aggressive, or do they keep attacking? Something to be easy to watch. But, I think for Washington, you try and find a way to maybe get Richardson going. You've had such success with Kinzer and Walker. What does Bergen Riley bring? But I'll tell you what, you hear both student sections right now. This is a fun place to be. It's the 5th set. The battle for number 1 is on. O'Gorman's going to serve to start the set. It'll be Bergen Riley. What a great night for volleyball here. 2 teams playing very, very well. And we're ready. 5th set, going to 15. Again, Bergen Riley starting, serving for Sioux Falls O'Gorman. Highball plays it up. Walker with the swing. Block by Beck and Dowling, both there for the Knights.
A lot of times you'll take some off when you see a big block in front of you, but you got to get it over the block, and that's a really tough thing to do when you have someone like Beck in front of you.
Down 2, now Bergen to serve. Knights with that all-important 1-0 lead, going back to Kinzer with a dump. Kept alive by Riley. Free ball now. Great effort by Bergen Riley. Walking with the serve. Blocked by Beck again.
Looks like the Knights have kind of caught some of that defensive bug that the Warriors have had going on. Love when the defensive effort is matched.
Important now. This is one of those times, a trademark. They have not been rattled this year. Important for the Warriors to get back in set number 3. Bergen Riley, there's that back set to Beck. Kept alive by Shetland. Melchow on the move. Free ball from Richardson. Dowling there. Highbolt with the dig. Pass behind the standard. 3-0 defending champs. O'Gorman with the lead. Coach Schrader's not going to wait for this lead to grow anymore. Timeout, Sioux Falls, Washington. We'll be back in 30 seconds. And we're back to live action. Sioux Falls O'Gorman with 3-0 lead in the deciding set number 5. Important for Washington to get some momentum, probably on this point right here after the timeout. But Bergen Riley still serving for the Knights. Melchow to Kinzer. Kept alive. Go by Dowling again. O'Gorman just keeping balls alive. Like you said, they're turning the tables on the defense that normally is Washington.
I think if you're Washington, you got to nail this pass and get that ball to Shelby Kinzer.
Right there, they're going outside to Walker. Again, that middle block with a piece. Beck with the swing. Cross court, Brogan Beck with another kill. 11th kill on the night for Beck. 5-0 Knights. Important right now for Washington to get a point and get back in this set. If it's there, and there it is. Ellie Walker now will step back to serve. 6 aces on the night. Now would be a big time for a number 7. The senior with the swing. Dug up by Jones. Free ball by Richardson. There's a kill. There's a little life in that Warrior lineup. 5-2. O'Gorman leads.
You have to remember, in this short set, a point is still a point. And they're just down 3 points. You can't get down on yourself, especially in such a short set.
Walker Jones overpass again. Richardson again at the net.
And that's not an instant replay. That was just the same play twice. Ellie Walker.
Aggressive serve.
Aggressive serve. Shouldn't count as an ace, or doesn't count as an ace, but should.
5-3 now. Walker looking for another one. Gets the benefit. There's your ace. Ace number 8. 4-0 run. Washington right back in it. Now Coach Sack's going to stem the tide right here. The senior Walker aggressive serving. 5-4. Washington says we're not going anywhere. We'll be back after a quick 30-second break. All right, we're back. We caught our breath. The Knights tried to catch their breath. Warriors climbing back in this upon the serve of Ellie Walker. 5-4, Sioux Falls O'Gorman. Set number 5, Walker to serve again. There's another ace. That's another ace. Walker going for the double-double. 9 aces to go with her 13 kills. She's tied this thing up at 5.
Might even be a triple-double if they had the digs up there.
Oh! Great run by Walker. That one goes out. 6-5 O'Gorman. Macy Matheson has had a night herself. She'll be serving for O'Gorman. Big players making big plays on both sides of the net. Dug up by Shetman. Quick to Kinzer. Free ball over, handled by Riley. Back row attack. Shetman there. Over to Richardson. Swing. That catches the line. Big swing by Jocelyn Richardson there, finding a hole. Shelby Kinzer back to serve for Washington. 6-6 in set number 5.
Warriors finally getting some pep back in their step after a slow start to the match.
There's a swing by Dowling, this time just wide. Washington's come all the way back, down 5-0, like you said, a point at a time. Now they've taken the lead 7-6. Important for O'Gorman to try and get not only momentum, but the serve back. Matheson. Riley over to Noonan. Touch by Wenatanda. Quick to Wenatanda. Riley there to keep it alive. And Dowling with the kill. Bergen Riley, great job keeping that alive off the swing of Wenatanda.
Fun to see Dowling just hungry for the ball in these types of situations. A player that hasn't really been that standout for O'Gorman and really taken that lead on her shoulders.
Gabby Jones serving. O'Gorman libero. Walchout moves off her spot to get it. Swing by Richardson. That double block of Steffel and Beck. Out to Richardson, cross court, Jones is there. Back set to Beck, cross court for the kill.
I think she found her cross court angle.
Yeah, she's got the line. They took that away. She's gone cross court. So effective that Riley back set to Beck tonight. 12 kills for Brogan on the night. That time, Belchow keeps it over. Beck with the free ball. Out! Just wide on the free ball by Beck. We're tied at 8. Set number 5. Belchow's going to wait. Sophomore setter for the Warriors. At the service line, tied at 8. Jones to Riley, back set to Beck. This time Walker's there. Over to Beckstrand. Noonan with the free ball over. Shetnan. Up, cross court to Richardson. Swing and a kill, Jocelyn Richardson. 11 kills for her, and she's had to work for them tonight against that block of O'Gorman.
Yeah, she's taken a lot of swings, and good on her for not getting down, for having to take multiple swings in almost every rally to be able to score. It's a tough ball by Wenentanda, but good job to keep it alive.
Yep, Beckstrand there to keep it alive. Walker this time. There's a point by Steffel. Can we just alter the rules and have this one go to 25-2? I'm not ready for this to end. I don't think either of these teams are. We're tied at 9. This is a dogfight. Michaela Tehart back to serve. The outside DS serving. There's Melchow, back set to Richardson this time. Finds the hole. Kill number 12 for Richardson.
Really smart shot there by Richardson. She's been just hammering some balls all night to be able to switch that up, dink a little ball right over the net. Really, really smart, able to get that point.
And she will serve now. Warriors leading 10-9. There's Gabby Jones. Beck uses her middle. Kept alive by Shetnan. Matheson to Beck. Middle again. Warriors keep it alive. Swing by Walker. Noonan kept alive again by the Warriors. Cross court, Brogan Beck. Swing by Noonan.
Man, I'd love to see the dig numbers after this match.
There's a great one there. Matheson keeps it alive. What a rally.
Who can control it first?
Gabby Jones. Oh! Melchow there on the dump attempt by Riley. Riley to Steffel, kept alive again. Wenentanda. Gabby Jones.
See if they can take advantage of this free ball.
Back to Beckstrand for the kill. What a rally.
They might need a courtesy timeout after that rally just to get a breather.
Absolutely, both teams refusing to let the ball hit. The sophomore with the big swing. Coach Heck shrugs his shoulders. What can you do? Timeout O'Gorman. We'll take one more quick 30-second break. Warriors lead 11-9. The Warriors told us they don't get rattled. The coach told us they don't get rattled, and they absolutely meant it. We're going to get our camera fixed here. They found 5-0 to start set number 5. They come roaring back. One of the best rallies I've seen all year. That last point ended by a kill by Carly Beckstrand. We're back. Jocelyn Richardson with the serve. Knights trailed 9-11. There's another swing by Beckstrand. And a point, and look at her teammates celebrate. 12-9 Washington. The sophomore coming up big here in set number 5.
I don't know what they put in that Gatorade of hers after the 4th set. She's ready to go.
They got her going. Jocelyn Richards the save. There's a swing by Noonan. Shetnan, who's played a great 5th set.
And that's a tough ball to throw all the way outside. Melchow called for the double after an amazing run by the Warriors. We'll see if they can respond back right away. Just a 2-point game.
Sabrina Trinan checking back in. Sophomore DS to serve. Beckstrand back set to Beckstrand, kept alive. A lift call on the Knights. Point, another point by Beckstrand. Melchow going to her classmate often here in crucial set number 5. Carly Beckstrand not disappointing. 13-10 Warriors. Shetman to serve. Riley kept alive. Richardson was ready. Back to Beckstrand again. This one deep. Point O'Gorman. Nice trail. 11-13, senior Bella Steffel.
Last time she was back to serve, they got a few in a row, so she'll try to get those Knights going once more.
There's Richardson, moving out late. Up. Walker, goes to the swing. Bergen Riley, cross court to Matheson. Killed by Macy Matheson. Now the Knights. Timeout, Sioux Falls, Washington. They're going to try and nip this in the bud right away. Timeout, Coach Schroeder. 13-12, Sioux Falls, Washington will be back in 30 seconds. We're back to live action. Washington leads 13-12. Bella Steffel serving for the Knights. Overslayer there. That'll bring up match point for Sioux Falls, Washington. Checking in. Well, those seniors we talked about, Taryn Heibolt, senior DS serving for the Warriors. Match point, Washington. Kept alive, Riley to her middle, block back, Kinzer with the block, Warriors win in 5. 15-12, what a match.
Who else but Shelby Kinzer to take the lead on that last point, put the ball down, end it with a block. Such a great match between both teams. You can hear it by the energy in this gym. I think we might be seeing a rematch sometime soon.
Absolutely. Credit on both sides. I know O'Gorman was ejected. They wanted this one, but for the pieces stepping in and the rotation, and then another injury early in set 1 for them to play the way they did. Nothing to hang your heads about. I hope we get a rematch. And I hope these student sections are here. A+ job for them. But yeah, let's talk about the composure of Sioux Falls, Washington. I've talked about it, and again, another 5-set come from behind win.
Yeah, sorry, Coach, but I think these girls like the 5-set wins with the way that they played there in the 5th. But I think that's when you see that chemistry and that closeness of the team really come together. They were down 5-0 at the beginning of that set. And all it took was 1 or 2 big plays for them to really almost like suck into each other and get back on the same page and really make that push. And then although it was back and forth, the momentum and the energy and the excitement was definitely on Washington's side.
Absolutely, and players making plays back and forth. But, you know, we talk about the sophomores, right, with Melchild was setting, but Carly Beckstrand coming up big. Ellie Walker getting them going with her service game again. She did that in set 3 and set 5, dug them out of a hole with multiple aces, and just to play it. And then that great rally that they come up. Beckstrand with the kill that just kind of a little bit deflating for O'Gorman there at the end of set 5, but neither one of these teams will be hanging their head. That was a great match.
Yeah, I think what these teams did so well tonight is they really, played each other up, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yes.
There was no playing down to any level, and I think a perfect example is O'Gorman's defense. You know, that hasn't been the huge standout of this O'Gorman team thus far this year, and this has been by far one of their best defensive efforts, playing up to that Washington level. And then Washington, maybe not the cleanest team of all time or the biggest blockers of all time, but that really stepped up on their side during this match as well.
Well, and you talked about Coach, Hecton said before the match, a measuring stick. Well, I think you're pretty dang even, and for going through the changes, you're disappointed, but you can walk away with this saying, all right, here's our game plan now all the way through the state tournament. Here's a lineup we can work with, and now you have time. But I'm just so impressed on the O'Gorman side, Simon stepping in a little bit in the early set, Noonan coming in, giving them some reps early on and playing well. Matheson, the match that she had, and then Emily Dowling in the middle, just some real bright points, athletes stepping up. Right, and it's a cliche, right? Next person up when there's an injury, but they stepped up tonight. They could continue that. They will be there all the way until the end in November. And
I think an important note that you bring up, Washington has had this lineup for the entire season, give or take when in Tonda, when she's healthy. They've been practicing basically the same thing from the get-go, whereas O'Gorman has been practicing this lineup that they played tonight,
36 hours.
Well, not even with the injury of T-Hart. So, to step up, like you mentioned, and just kind of figure it out as the match went on, they definitely improved. I mean, it was a whole new team in set 5 than it was versus set 1 and set 3. So they, like you said, have nothing to hang their heads on and definitely have a lot to go back to the drawing board during practice next week.
Yeah, and for the Warriors, we just talk about, that never quit avenue. Shetton in the back, digging balls, keeping balls alive. Richardson's stick-to-itiveness tonight, right? Could have been frustrating early on, kept with it, came up with some big swings. It just, their stat line as you go up and down, balanced again, right? And, went in time to getting a couple more reps. And then the match of Kinzer, right, the match of Kinzer, and it's just so cool because we talk about that all the time in AA programs, right? They play a lot sooner at other programs and other cllasses. She gets her chance in the year she's had and then the match she's had. Kudos to them. This was truly 1 versus 2. It was awesome. I think it lets us know that Rapid City could be a lot of fun for AA and some talented players. So before we sign off, we have about, what do we have? Two more finalist lists. We're going to show you each those, and we'll be posting those later. And again, just like this with the match of the year, this needs to be a finalist, I think. So these could be ever changing. So we'll sign off by showing you guys those 2 lists, and
I don't have control over it anymore. Our session is. Unfortunately, you'll have to tune into our social media to check those couple athletes out that we have left. Our live stream is running out of time. We've got to sign off, but thank you so much for tuning in with us tonight. Again, we'll have the replay up of this on our YouTube channel. That'll stay up so you can rewatch this amazing match. And again, stay tuned to our Instagram at adrenaline_volleyball in order to see those postseason finalists.
Best of luck, everybody. Great job by both teams tonight. Everybody, November's on its way. It's going to be a great run for Sodak Volleyball. For Haley, for Darren, thank you for tuning in. We'll talk to you later.
So the free trial must